In this video, I'm going to cover how I managed to make £2,000 as a full-time student in a month leading up to my summer break, so stay tuned for that. Hi guys, it's Leo back again with another video, and as you can see there's a bit of an interesting backdrop today. I'm in Scotland this week, so I thought I would drive out and try and find some interesting backdrop to kind of film this video in front of. So hopefully that looks kind of aesthetically pleasing. I've got a lake and some mountains, but there's also a main road over there. So in this video I'm going to share how I managed to make approximately about £2,000 in a month, kind of leading up to my summer break. This isn't like some magical kind of method. I essentially just got a job, but this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to go into the job that I got, and I'm going to go into why I think the job that I got was beneficial to me and could potentially be beneficial to you. So the job that I got while I was a student was as something called a healthcare assistant. This is a role that supports nursing staff in the hospital. This opportunity was a little bit niche to being a healthcare student because I've already got exposure to the hospital and I had the ability to kind of apply for this role. Okay, so I'm firstly going to cover how I managed to kind of fit working shifts as a HCA around my full-time education. I've been a HCA for 8 or 9 months, so I'd pick up kind of the occasional weekend shift. So if I had a day off from university, I would book like the night shift or a day shift. In the last month leading up to my summer break, I had something called an elective. I'm going to do another video on that. Essentially what an elective is a selected placement where I got to choose a department to work in for a month as a student doctor. A lot of people go abroad, so I decided to stay in the hospital where I had the HCA role so I could book shifts while I was doing the selective. So essentially the way I did it was I just booked a lot of shifts. I predominantly did night shifts. I did a lot of day shifts as well, and weekend shifts because they pay a little bit better than the standard day rate. The way I fitted it around my uni work was, because I was on elective, I'd already finished my exams, so I didn't really have that much revision to do outside of uni, which kind of helped because I could spend that time working. I did my elective in psychiatry and it was very enjoyable, but there's not as much time where I needed to actually be in the hospital. I would say it was only 4. That helped with having a lot of time to kind of book shifts. So that's kind of how I did it. I just booked a whole bunch of shifts over that month, literally as many as I could. I remember there were some really kind of sketchy shifts where I would get back at like 8 p.m. and then I'd have to wake up at like 5 in the morning. It was quite tiring, but it was worth it. Obviously I got paid for it quite well and there was a lot of experience gained. So I'm going to move on to why I think if this opportunity is available to you, why you should take it, because I think it's quite beneficial for experience. Yeah, so essentially while you're on placement as a medical student, you've got no responsibility, you're not paid to be there. Obviously it's in your best interest to do as much as possible, but you're not going to be staying in for 12 hours at a time, seeing what happens in a ward throughout a whole like 12-hour period, which is something you would gain as a HCA. I definitely recommend it for experience because you get book smart from going through medical school, but you want to be ward smart. So it kind of builds confidence knowing where stuff is kept on the ward and also understanding the role of other staff members. So I think this is going to be quite beneficial for when I qualify as a doctor, which fingers crossed is going to be this time next year, which is quite soon. There's a lot of lorries coming past this road here. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about how working as a HCA as a student actually works. So I'm not a full-time contracted staff member. I work on the bank, which means I've got access to this kind of website which wards post shifts on. So there'll be like there's a shift on Wednesday and then you can just kind of say you want to do that shift, which is very convenient because it means you can kind of work around your timetable. So if you know you've got like a Wednesday off, you can just book a shift on a Wednesday and there's no like requirements to be in a certain number of hours. So it's all quite convenient. So yeah, if you guys have got any questions about working as a HCA and being a student or any like questions about anything to do with medical school or anything, or even drones, I do a bit of drones, leave them in the comments section below and I'll answer them because I don't get that many comments. So yeah, I think I'm going to kind of leave it there. There's not really much to it. So essentially how I earned this £2,000 in the month was I worked as a HCA while I was doing my elective and I booked loads of shifts. I kind of filled up all my time with shifts for that month. So it was very tiring, but it was also worth it. Not just financially, but for the experience that I gained. Yeah, and I basically I recommend if you've got the opportunity and you're a healthcare student to try and see if your hospital allows you to work as a HCA in between studying. So yeah, and hopefully you guys like the backdrop, because I think it was quite interesting. I had to drive quite far out to try and look for one. And if you like if you want to see any more medical school related videos, or any more of my trip around Scotland, I'm going to get some footage and kind of compile it and put it on my channel. Or I also fly drones, so I'm going to put a few drone shots in this video anyway, just to, if you want to see more of that, you can feel free to subscribe or check out my channel. So if you did enjoy this video or you found it useful at all, be sure to hit the like button. That's appreciated. We're going to try and hit 20 likes on this video. And I think I will see you guys. I'll see you guys in my... I'm getting bitten by insects here. There's a lot of insects. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video.